Hey everybody, this is Rustin with Metalholic and Examiner. We are here with Gus and Simon of Young Guns, all the way from the UK. Welcome back to the States.
Thank you.
Did you guys even get a chance to go home after the 10 years tour?
For 10 days.
Yeah, appropriately enough. Yeah,
we kind of went back after that. We were on the road for about 5 weeks prior to that, and then went home for 10 days, and then came out to New York a couple of weeks ago to kind of like do some demoing up in the Wind Up Studios.
Right.
So I record.
Yeah, so that was cool, and then straight onto this tour.
Yeah, we had a little bit of time off, but it was our decision to come back early because we wanted to demo. So.
Yeah.
Well, and that's a great tour to be on, both for my Valentine, Halestorm,
yeah, this is really strong.
Stereo. So, and we're psyched to get you back. I didn't get to see you when you came through town last time. I had another show that night. So.
All right. Tonight's the night.
There you go.
It's going to be great.
Now, last year you guys released your second album, Bones. You guys began the process of writing it in Thailand. Well, for my Valentine did the same thing with theirs.
Same
What's
place.
up with Thailand?
Same place, really, right?
God, it seems like such a long time ago.
It does seem so long ago. Well, for us, it was a case of the producer that we worked with on that record was this the guy that we'd done everything up until that point with, a friend of ours. And he basically knew the owner of the studio in Thailand and could get it for kind of a reasonable amount of money. Pretty much what we would have paid to do it in London, really, which is ridiculous. We have the same management company as Bullet, and I think that I guess it was probably something to do with that. I know they tracked some of the record up there, but it's just a beautiful place, a really inspiring environment, isn't it?
Yeah, so I mean, it's an amazing opportunity just to go to Thailand anyway.
Right.
So when the chance kind of came along, and the whole studio was just like kind of, I mean, was it modelled on Abbey Road or something like that? And it's like a really plush studio and some beautiful surroundings, so that really helped. And one of our friends' bands, and Shikori, they had just done their album out there as well with the same producer, and so we kept on seeing all the footage from Thailand. We're like, well, we're incredibly jealous, so we have to go. So we actually did it after them, and then I think it's a few months after that, Bullet went to do some of their stuff out there.
Did it help being away from home and all the distractions and stuff a little bit?
Yeah, that was kind of the motivation, wasn't it, really? We actively wanted to remove ourselves from everything that we were kind of familiar with and comfortable with. It's hard doing that, especially when you spend your life traveling anyway. Right. But I think sometimes you kind of think, right, well, the goal has to be making the best record that we can, and that means kind of isolating ourselves.
Well, and then more honors. Last week, you guys had Bones selected for WrestleMania for their.
That was insane. That was amazing. Yeah, that was like kind of when we were told that initially, we couldn't believe. We thought it was a joke. And so when we heard it the other night, I mean, even on like Raw and SmackDown, kind of like the kind of run up to the WrestleMania. I mean, Bones was being played kind of regularly, and we were kind of stoked on that. So when we heard it being played to what, kind of 80,000 people at the MetLife Stadium, it was like, wow, that's pretty insane.
Are you guys wrestling fans at all, or?
I was a huge fan when I was a kid. We all were. As I've gotten older, I suppose drifted away from it. Like I was in like all the classics were my favourite, Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Undertaker. But that's what was so exciting, was that the Undertaker was still doing it, and
it's 2 hour song.
2 hour song. So that was a really big deal. It was awesome.
It's cool. Like we got a bit excited when he was doing like the Tombstone. We were like, yeah, he did the Tombstone. Yeah, it's wicked. Yeah, it's good fun.
So how does the songwriting process work in Young Guns?
It's not really a science to it. Is there like an exact method?
There isn't like an exact formula, but I would say kind of John and Fraser, they kind of like create, I guess, like the foundations of some songs, and they might come along to a practice where we've written kind of this song, and it might be kind of the full song, and then we kind of dissect it, and then be like, okay, well, that's cool. Why don't we try this bit, like add this beat or add this progression, and it kind of like it starts off, I guess, as a kind of like a little raw egg, like start off with, and then like we'll kind of dissect it and put our input, equal input in, and it kind of like happens that way, which is really it takes ages, it takes a long time, and sometimes it's quite a laborious kind of process.
But I think it's better, right? Because like we just spent this time in the studio in New York, and all we had, it was a good example of what Si was saying, was like a kind of a very, very loose structure, a couple of different bits that we thought had something to them. And I think John had written the original questions to those bits, and we took them into the studio and kind of discussed, like, vibe of the song, what did we want out of it, and we were trying something new that we've not done before, and so we kind of fleshed out the structure of the song kind of all together, just throwing ideas around, recorded it, and then spent like a week tracking the vocals and lyrics and stuff, and we try not to finish a song until everybody thinks it's good enough, you know. And we got there at like 4 a.m. on the last night, so we got it there. But I think unless everybody's happy with the song, to me it's kind of a comment that maybe that's not quite strong enough.
Well, you guys, like you said, it seems like it's been a long time, and it really has, because you guys started working on Bones almost 2 years ago. I think it was like July 2011, something like that. Yeah. So, are you guys still looking at doing a lot more touring after this tour, or are you guys looking at it's about time to get back in the studio for the third album? Or?
I guess so, yeah. We've been non-stop touring since Bones came out in the UK, which was about a year and a half ago, however long. So we've been pushing it a lot, and we came to the end of the album cycle last December in the UK, and then the album was released here. Of September of last year, so it was kind of weird. It was like a starting the cycle again almost, but in just the States. So we've been kind of non-stop touring ever since the release of Bones. So I guess once we're on tour, we're on the road for another 2 months with the Bullet guys. So that will take up a long time, and I guess it's just kind of concentrating on writing some new material, really.
Yeah, we're going to go into the studio like towards the end of this year, or late summer, probably something like that. I think we're probably going to try and get 1 or 2 more tours in before the end of this year over here. But by that point, we'll be kind of gearing up, I suppose, to begin the third album cycle.
Well, in America, I mean, you guys have been all over the radio and everything, but America's just now starting to get to know who Young Guns are. So, with that in mind, can you tell us a little bit about each of you, sort of your path to music, maybe when you had that epiphany moment that this is what you wanted to do?
Well, I guess for me it was I was really into different kinds of music growing up, not just rock. Like, you know, I loved Michael Jackson. I loved 80s pop, like Prince and, you know, Cyndi Lauper. You know, all that. You know, and then light rock. You know, and then punk music and dance music. I was into literally everything. But I guess one of my first concerts actually seeing Green Day at Wembley Arena in London, and it was one of those moments when I saw Mike Dirnt just shredding on the bass. I was like, I want to play bass, I want to play it like him, and I want to be on that stage. And then it kind of started from there, and I kind of taught myself how to play bass and a really rubbish bass guitar, and then kind of like started that way, and then got into bands at a very early age. That's probably the reason why I kind of know these guys. It kind of started from there, really, for me.
For me, I guess, I mean, I always loved listening to music. I mean, funny enough, I was maybe like 4 or 5 years old, and I had like a fever. I got really sick, and my mum was studying at the time, and I remember I was like in bed for like a week, and she bought me like one of those like Fisher Price cassette players, Thriller cassette, and I listened to it constantly. That for me was kind of my early gateway into music. But
Michael Jackson is a gateway drug.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's bizarre, but you know, and then I grew up. I have an older brother, and I stole his Nirvana and Green Day and all that kind of stuff CDs when Smashing Pumpkins. When I was like 11, I used to steal them, take them to school and listen to them and stuff. And that was probably for me kind of a real eye-opener. You know, it was because it was a kind of music that I had found of my own accord, and there was like an emotional connection there in different ways. It just like satisfaction of listening to a nice melody, you know. And my brother taught me to play guitar, and I started just playing around trying to learn something I like. I guess it was kind of almost just feels like a long series of accidents that have ended up with me being in the band. I actually played bass guitar in what would become this band. Like, I joined just for fun with some of the other guys, and then there's something quit, and, you know, a number of kind of evolutions and changes later. Here we are today, so it's kind of crazy. But I've always known I wanted to do it, but I never thought I'd be able to.
Well, and you guys have had a chance to tour all over the place. Is there some place that's sort of on your tour bucket list that you really want to get to still?
Still loads of places.
Loads of places. I guess South America would be a really cool place. We're actually going over there in July.
We're going to Brazil, yeah, so I'm really excited about that. But that part of the world is somewhere we always really want to go.
They're pretty rabid fans down there.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the music scene exploding there, isn't it? Which is really cool. I'd love to go to Mexico. But
Indonesia.
Yeah, New Zealand.
It's kind of like places where like the music scene's actually becoming really big of recent kind of years. Like everyone's really big, and they've got access to kind of like radio and like, you know, music videos and magazines. So, but probably the bands don't go there as often as they would in the US. So they're really, the passion there to see a band is like extreme. So that's why you hear all these stories of like, you know, friends bands that have gone over there, and like it's mayhem and it's mental. Like at the airport, like you kind of see, when Beatles were kind of like touring the States or whatever, and then it's happening, but in those countries. So that's really cool.
I think Russia as well, because we've been supposed to go over like 2 or 3 times, and every time there's been a scheduling conflict or whatever, so we haven't been able to do that. So the world's a big place, we haven't really seen anyway yet, relatively speaking.
So before we get out of here, tell us something about each of you that might surprise people to learn.
God, who should we start with?
What about all 5 of us, or just 2 of us?
Just 2 of you.
Secret about
I mean, there's plenty, but it's about what I want to share. What I can
It's all rock and roll. Pretty soon it'll all be out there.
I guess I used to be into my dance music quite a lot when I was a kid, like Prodigy, but I was really into my drum and bass. I don't know if you guys know drum and bass, but I was really into my kind of MCing, which is basically kind of like rapping over dance music, and I was really into that. And when I was 15, I used to do that at raves and local raves and stuff. So that's probably something that most people and fans in the UK probably don't know either. So
what would be something that probably you wouldn't guess? I used to play American football at university for my university's team, so that's something people would not imagine that I would do. So I was a wide receiver. So.
Nice. So Gus and Simon from Young Guns, thanks so much for taking the time to chat with us. Looking forward to seeing the show tonight.
It's
and
of course.